That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode 120 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where usually four friends get together to celebrate the wonder of professional wrestling, but one of us cannot hack the heat. My name's Adam, I'm here. Sam, you're here?
I can hack the heat.
We'll discuss how you're managing to hack the heat shortly. Brett, you're here.
I'm here. I am here, but I can't hack the heat. But I'm still here.
Whereas John... I mean, what do you reckon happened? Do you think it was the humidity's got to his fringe and he can't get his headphones over his
John
hair?
is just a pile of ash on a computer chair at this point.
This is, I mean, we've had many a hot, sweaty record over the years, but this is by far the hottest, I think.
Yeah.
Easily.
Sam, tell us your situation.
I am currently sat in my underwear. Mint green with ice
Is
creams
this
on.
an after hours pod?
This is...
Yes.
You guys didn't clue me in on this.
I mean, when we were all on camera, we did ask you to dress appropriate and you chose not to. Adam, what are you wearing?
This is great for the listeners. I am wearing, listeners, just a pair of shorts. In fact, they are football shorts. They're the shorts I go running in and play football in, and nothing else. Brett, what about you?
I am clothed because
Fully clothed.
I do
Suit
not
and
want
tie.
to stick to my chair.
To be fair, I am already regretting my decision because I am indeed sticking to this chair.
Okay, so this, as you can hear, is real commitment. I'm sure many other podcasters would have gone, hey guys, it's really hot. I think we're going to pass out if we try and do this in closed rooms, offices with windows shut, fans turned off, doors shut. That would be madness. But we're so committed to this podcast and to our listeners that here we are. And we're going to be doing a top 5. Before we get onto that, I should say that the last podcast that we did was The Undertaking Volume 4. We've had yet more really nice feedback on that, so I'm really pleased people are enjoying it. I think we're all enjoying doing it. Even you, Sam, all the prep?
Really enjoying doing it, and whilst we're on the subject, obviously Undertaking Volume 4 was looking at Undertaker's matches with Kamala, the late, great Kamala now.
Yeah, so sad.
Yeah, incredibly so.
Tragic.
Do you think he was just holding out for his episode of The Undertaking to
Ultimate
happen?
Warrior on Raw. Like, he had his last episode of Raw and then he passed away the next day, but to not make a joke about it, because he's obviously he was an amazing servant to wrestling. 70 years old, COVID-related passing in the end, which is really sad.
I didn't know that.
But no, thank you, James Harris, you're an amazing wrestler.
Yeah, thank you. And now we'll move back from being serious to being stupid. I am very thankful, again, and any listeners, okay, this is serious. Anybody who has had any awful stuff to do with COVID, then I really feel for you. But I'm very lucky that I haven't really been affected by it. Kamala is like the first person I've known. So now if anybody says, do you know anybody who's been affected? I'll just say, yeah, Kamala.
I really hope that's true. About Kamala.
I'll say it? Yeah.
No, like I've heard rumours. I don't know if it's actually...
Oh, right, okay.
The reason.
Allegedly. Just say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We should just have a big old asterisk on every episode. At the end of the episode
Yeah,
where it's
basically,
just like,
everything we possibly say on
allegedly.
this podcast has an asterisk next to it.
Yeah. We are not journalists.
No.
No.
And Brett and I have got used to pretty much anything that you say, Sam. We just have a big asterisk.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever happens, he is very much no longer with us, and that is sad because, as we discussed last week, he brought a lot to wrestling and life, and perhaps we should all stick on his album tonight.
Genuinely, I gave him a 4-star match against The Undertaker. I stick with that.
That's lovely. What a way to end. Okay, let's have a short break, mop ourselves down a little bit, maybe change our little mint green pants for something a bit different, and we'll come back and we'll do a top 5.
Mint green.
All right, genuinely, I'm going to go put a pair of shorts on. My legs are sticking to the chair. It sucks.
Oh, what an explosion of a human body on the ring apron.
The hardest part of the ring.
Yeah, very small, if any, padding. It's basically that mat you're looking at. And that damn thing is nothing but feels like under sandpaper.
Oh, I'm back.
Good. Well, Sam has actually changed into a little pair of shorts. Any details that we should know about on the shorts?
They are cotton shorts. They have a faux denim look. I suppose making them jorts, maybe? Faux jorts?
Little Daisy Dukes.
Yeah, sure.
Amazing. Okay, so it's top 5 time, and this is top 5 wrestlers to send on a mission to Mars. A topic that's been greatly received by every single one of our listeners, as we're going to find out later. The last top 5 that we did was back on episode 115, not that long ago now, where we picked our top 5 wrestler haircuts. But tonight, we're going to talk about which wrestlers we think would be the best choices to send on a mission to Mars. But not yet, because it is, of course, time for the legendary pun match section.
Oh, I forgot about this.
I feel like we need a jingle or something, like a little sting or a jingle for this now. It's become such a
iconic
popular
part of the podcast that we all
iconic
really
section.
look forward to. And yet somehow you surprise me with it every single time we do a top 5.
Yeah.
Sam, as like a long-term project, because I know you're always busy with the undertaking, but you should make a little pun match jingle. I'll give you a year, okay?
365 days, counting down from the 11th of August 2020.
3020, it sounded like you said there.
Did it? Oh, gave myself a bit more time.
Okay, so last time we had hair puns. So we had the unforgettable hair versus hair match between Leo Brush, Will Hairspray, Dave Masquiff, and Hair Bandy Orton. I haven't gone for a Mars pun match because it's slightly too specific. I've gone more for a space puns match. We're going to go for 3-on-3. We're going to have Alistair Black Hole, Cosmic Foley, and Gravity J Perkins.
Yeah, okay.
And
Let's see how that works.
they are against our first faction in one of these puns match, the Nation of Constellation.
What, no Apollo Crews in your...
Too easy.
He's literally got Apollo and the word cruise in his name.
I know, but I can't just name a wrestler.
I mean, it seems like that's what you generally do for these pun matches.
Well, hey, and also you might want to pick, somebody might have picked Apollo Crews for their top 5. Who knows?
Oh, sorry, Adam.
So yeah, that's the 3-on-3. And which promotion do you think is going to book that match? It's not TNA. It's
Stardom?
No. Oh, I like it.
Huh?
But it's not TNA. It's TNE. Total Non-Stop Eclipse. Total Eclipse.
of the
Total
heart.
Non-Stop Eclipse.
Right, cool. Yeah, you really peaked with Cosmic Foley. That's great.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be quite good to have a promotion in there, because then we can think about how they wouldn't just book the match, they'd plan it.
I'm starting to suspect that you actually plan.
Dearie me.
Okay.
Plan it.
I'm starting to suspect that you actually plan to put like the best pun in second now on purpose. So you you start weak, you go strong, and then you finish weak. Is that a fair assessment?
The way I do it is I look at the WWE roster. I then Google space words, and then I found a website with a load of space words.
Space words.
And then I then sort of look at them next to each other, and I write down as many as I can, thinking I'll separate the wheat from the chaff at the end. And then it turns out I'm always just left with chaff, which I then present to you guys.
And one delicious piece of wheat every
Which
time.
was Cosmic Foley.
Cosmic Foley this time, Hair Bandy Orton last time.
There
I
you
liked
go.
Dave Masquiff last time.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Very
He
happy about
had a
that.
few last time.
I'd like to think that John is currently listening to this, absolutely laughing his arse off.
Sure.
Sure. We'll get an update from him next week. Anyway, so that was the Space Puns match. Hooray. What a moment. Top 5 selection. So the way that it works is that we put forward 2 selections each before deciding on 1 each to lock down into the final 5. John isn't here, but he has sent his choices in to me, so I'll be reading those out. Once we've done 2 each, we will then hear listener suggestions, and we will add those to the picks that we have left over to decide on the final 5th pick. So listener choices can make the top 5, and they tend to, don't they? I mean, I think we've had quite a big run of them.
So, yeah.
Yeah. We always switch up the order, or whoever picked first last time goes to last. So the way it works now is the first person to pick for our top 5 wrestlers to send on a mission to Mars is going to be Sam.
Ooh, exciting. All right, guys. I want to send the Big Red Machine to the Big Red Planet.
Ah, yes, good.
Right, shall we move on?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Hear me out here. Hear me out. So
Okay, we're on board, but we'll hear you out.
he's got experience. He's, kind of...
Big and red.
Yep. He's big and red. He's got kind of leading experience in his governing. And also, he has previous surviving incredibly hot infernos, which kind of landing on Mars, notoriously difficult, might burn up in the atmosphere. Kane ain't going to burn up. Kane's going to be fine. So let's put Kane on Mars.
That's actually very good.
Yeah. Concise, to the point. Loved it.
Yeah, I've got a feeling he's gonna make it. I'm gonna go next, and I have picked. When I started searching around and having a guess at think about who I might pick, this could well be the most obvious one. So
Apollo Crews.
No, okay. apart from Apollo Crews, I've gone for Max Moon.
He has gone for Max Moon.
Right, yes, that does make sense. I never even thought of that.
Well, as far as I could find, apart from like totally unknown people who just used to wrestle in regional promotions across the States and the Deep South, he's the only one that I could find that was basically a spaceman. I mean, he was actually billed in different periods of his career. He was billed as a man from the future and then a space alien.
Space alien.
I mean, there is a very famous space alien currently wrestling for AEW.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that
one to come back to
could still happen, I suppose. Thank you. I might slot them into number 2. But yeah, I mean, he looks great. He looks like some sort of space alien or man from the future or spaceman.
I've got to be honest. Like, that scene from oh goodness, what's the one where they go to the meteor to blow it up? Independence Day? Armageddon?
No,
Armageddon.
No.
Armageddon. That's the one.
Armageddon. Yeah, I could see Kane and Max Moon doing that kind of Armageddon walk with their kind of, I want to say their helmets, their masks maybe under their arm, kind of strolling towards the end of that hangar with Aerosmith blaring. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I've got a fun fact. Oh, I was going to say an interesting fact, but let's just stay at fun. About Max Moon, which, I mean, we should probably know anyway. But on January the 11th, 1993, he wrestled and lost an Intercontinental Championship match to former tag team partner and longtime rival Shawn Michaels on the very first episode of Monday Night Raw.
Whoa.
Wait, was Max Moon Marty Jannetty?
No.
I didn't know.
No,
No.
he's not.
Oh.
No.
Oh. No, I had no idea. Well, no, because like you told me like long-term tag team partner of Shawn Michaels. I don't think Max Moon.
No.
No.
Max Moon is, he was called Paul Diamond. Although apparently as well, I mean, again, this is just stuff you find out when you have a brilliant website like Wikipedia, but it was meant to be, I can't remember the guy's name, but there was another wrestler who was supposed to be Max Moon, and he ended up leaving or getting injured, and the outfit was still in the dressing room, and then Paul Diamond came along and it fit him. So he was like, oh yeah, I'll do this.
Neat. Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he tagged with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. I'd never realised he got anywhere nearer having a title match, especially on the first episode of Raw. But there you go. So Max Moon is my pick. He's a man from the future, and he's a space alien. And that wasn't as concise as yours, Sam. But let's go to Brett.
Right, my first pick. I'm going with Roddy Piper. Hot Rod.
Oh.
Okay, you're going to need to explain this.
On a mission, you need someone who's a little crazy if they're going to go to Mars. That's Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
You need someone in your team that's going to bring a bit of levity with some wisecracking and light relief. That's Roddy Piper.
Okay.
Also, he's got experience. Now, I was thinking what sort of, wrestlers have experience fighting aliens and stuff, and Jesse the Body Ventura came to mind, but he died pretty, easily, so I thought, well, he's not the one. Then I thought, well, they live, Roddy Piper defeats a whole alien species trying to take over the planet. He wins the day. Brilliant. Then he's also in Hell Comes to Frogtown, not quite aliens, more super mutants, but I reckon similar experience, and he defeats them as well. Yeah. So he is the boss when it comes to tackling alien type creatures. So if there is anything on Mars, you need Piper.
Wow, what a sales pitch! Yeah.
Yeah.
My only
and I love those two films.
My only gripe is your claim that you need someone a little bit crazy to go into space. That seems like the last thing you want is someone unpredictable.
Oh no, you've always got someone unpredictable. Have you never seen a space film, Sam? There's always someone that you're a bit like, you know, you don't know if he's the one that's going to end up killing us before we even find any aliens.
Yeah, do you know, that's a fair point.
That's the way I'm seeing it as well. It's kind of, we're like casting the cast for an amazing space film rather than trying to pick like the 5 most sensible choices to
Oh no, I was going pure sensibility, but
and I think it does need to be a crew at the end, doesn't it? It needs to be a crew that fits and works well together. I really like Roddy Piper. I like that idea, and you sold him well. But are we agreed that bagpipes are banned?
No, you need bagpipes in space. Definitely need bagpipes
he'll get murdered.
in space.
Kane will murder
because
him.
like you can fill the bagpipes with air, and then if he gets lost somewhere in space, you know, he just gives it a little bit of a pit squeeze, got a bit of oxygen going on.
And that will propel
works.
him. He can use his bagpipe to propel himself.
I mean, really, the question is, why are NASA not sending their astronauts up into space without bagpipes?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, well, while we all ponder that, let's go to John's first choice, which he sent me earlier on WhatsApp at 3:04, to be precise. He has written the genius Lenny Puffo.
Lenny Puffo.
Oh, classic John. It's Lanny, isn't it?
It is Lanny Popo.
John, even when you've got time to write something down, you've still got the name wrong. Unbelievable. So yeah, he's written Lenny, but we'll correct it for him. In fact, I could have done that beforehand and not embarrassed him. The genius Lanny Poffo. In fact, he's written Puffo. He's written Puffo, not Poffo.
John couldn't give a shit.
John,
John's he's on holiday. I got this off.
Yeah,
so making me work.
It's 11 letters, John. Come on.
Lenny Puffo. No, Lanny Poffo. Anyway, we'll cut to the reason. He says because he's a bloody genius, admittedly for his poetry, but I'm sure there are some transferable skills.
I mean, that's a really strong...
I like the idea of some art in space with you, though. You need some art and some culture.
I think Lanny Poffo is a great choice. I think Lenny Puffo is an even better choice.
Lenny Puffo.
Lenny Puffo hangs out with Paul Bearer getting high in the back.
We Brett, I think we should design John a Lenny Puffo t-shirt. We should see if there's any existing merch, and then we'll edit it. I'm sure there's not existing merch. He's bloody 65 years old. Okay, so I don't think Lenny's going to make it when it comes to the final discussion on this, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. So those are the first round picks: Kane, Max Moon, Roddy Piper, and Lanny Poffo. Time for a quick interlude. Usually I come up with some sort of question. I didn't really think of anything, but just before I wrote down this, and you guys need to come up with an answer on the fly. Sam, how many Mars bars do you think you could eat in one sitting? Seriously.
About 8.
Oh my days. I believe you too.
Somebody's done it before. Really?
I mean, I really like Mars bars. They're great.
You used to have a Mars bar drink like first thing in the office every day.
Yeah, that was your breakfast, wasn't it?
There was a point when I used to walk to that office and I did the best thing ever, which is I made such good friends with the newsagents by our office that I was able to go in there, grab my drink and just leave the money on the counter. And he would just be like, "See you later, Sam." And I'd be like, "See you later," whatever your name was. I can't remember anymore. But yeah, that was great.
You're totally a sitcom in and of yourself.
But your great thing is that you used to go and you used to pay for a drink.
Well, yeah, but like it was kind of, I was friends with the guy.
He knows your name.
Man about town. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
You're jealous, Adam.
I am.
How many Mars bars can you eat in a sitting?
Yeah, I don't think 8's unreasonable. Like if I was really going for it. But I'll say 9 just because.
Oh,
would you reckon, Brett?
Who dares win?
Machismo.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to do this.
I'm definitely calling it 3. I don't think I could eat any more than 3. Too sickly.
They are quite rich.
They are sickly, actually.
Can we also just let the viewers know that Adam and me have partaken in an eating contest before that I believe Adam won?
Oh, what was that?
We all went
wings.
to Weatherspoons and we ordered 50 chicken wings each, I think.
Oh my days.
And
Yeah.
I think Adam completed 39 of his chicken wings, and for his troubles was called a pussy by the restaurant staff.
By the waitress, which tells you everything you need to know about Weatherspoons, any international listeners. We've got 50
Incredibly.
each. We only had an hour's lunch break. It took us 15 minutes to walk there, so we had about half an hour, and I managed to eat 39, and I was delighted. But yeah, the waitress called me a pussy. She actually said the word pussy.
You were so outraged. I've never seen you so upset before.
It was full of chicken wings, cheap battery hen chicken wings. It was a sorry state of affairs, but still,
Poor
I won.
chickens.
You did.
I know. I do regret that, Brett. I do regret that. I want you to know. Okay, so that's good. If you want to get in touch and tell us how many Mars bars you think you could eat, then info will come up later on how to do that. But let's go to our second picks. Sam.
Okay, so when we touch down on Mars and we run into the inevitable aliens, I want the aliens to think that humanity are really scary. And I know the obvious choice here is Minoru Suzuki. We choose him for every top 5. We're not going to do that. I want to send Andre the Giant up into space and onto Mars. I want them to really think that we are all like him.
Giants.
The interesting thing here is that you've not got much of a chance of both of your picks getting in. Can't have Andre the Giant and Kane.
I know, it's so difficult to choose because they're so good.
Yeah. Well, no, but there's a clear profile of person that you've
Yeah,
gone for there.
Sam's gone the Vince McMahon way of choosing wrestlers.
I'm telling you, Vince McMahon ran NASA.
And also, that is very cruel on Andre, trying to get him to squeeze into a space rocket and into
Yeah.
those suits and helmets.
Are you guys telling me you don't want to see Andre the Giant in a spacesuit?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Andre the Giant is your second pick. And that means it's time for my second pick. And this is where I've got a bit of a problem, guys, because I've got Max Moon, and then I've basically got 5 honourable mentions because I didn't think any of them were quite strong enough, and now I've got to pick out one of them. Okay, I'm just going to sort of think about who we've already picked and who would fit in.
Fit in with Kane and Andre the Giant sat next to them.
The others are all a bit of a joke. So, given that we are kind of casting a movie, I think I'm going to pick our captain, and I'm going to pick The Miz. Because, obviously, he's a movie star. He looks the part. You can totally imagine him in the uniform with his helmet under his arm, walking in slow motion towards the rocket just before they leave.
Oh, that Armageddon scene again.
Yeah. You can totally imagine the reality show that would, the spin-off that would happen from this. I can't think, is there some sort of Mars?
Miz and Marses.
Miz and Mars. Miz and Mars, it's perfect. And you could imagine him doing the inspirational speeches as they're getting up there. I mean, everybody would hate him. But I just think as that sort of captain role, the face, the big cheesy American with his star-spangled banner on his arm, I think he'd fit in perfectly on this mission.
I think he'd be ejected.
I mean, he's not going to make it, but that's my second pick. Brett, who's yours?
Oh, I'm at a quandary now.
Uh-oh.
Why,
have you got lots to choose from, or you're not sure if your next pick's right?
No, I'm going to go with my choice, but I think our movie cast crew is going to be lacking, so I'll bring it up later in our honourable mentions.
Okay.
But so my second choice initially is, it's a space crew. You need to be international. So I'm going for the Swiss Cyborg.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Because, he's strong as fuck as well, which, is always useful, I think. But he's Swiss. So he brings the international element.
We're really scraping the barrel.
And he's, I reckon because he's Swiss and not American, he's probably pretty smart too.
I love the idea of us sitting around a big boardroom table at NASA, and we're going through the short list of people, and Brett's like, and he's Swiss.
Yeah.
Trying to persuade us. And the other thing is he's Swiss, guys. So,
There's always a few nationalities. Come on. That's a
you
given.
are right. And
Yeah.
he'd be
a
so
given.
handy. He'd be good at everything. He'd probably
Yeah.
keep morale high. I like that one. Okay, well, thank you very much, Brett, for your second choice. Moving on to John's second choice, and this is absolutely brilliant. He has gone for Viscera.
Typical.
And he says, listen to episode 28 for the reasons you don't want to be worrying about a food source in space. So there we go. Viscera is basically
such
your old
a cannibal, is John. I'm worried about him now.
space sausages.
Viscera made our last top 5 as well with best hairstyles.
I don't think I could go anywhere with John that would be a risk of food shortage.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, Viscera's Mr. Top 5, isn't he? He shows up a lot. But, I mean, again, when we're picking our crew shortly, it's going to be... There are weight restrictions on these rockets.
Are there? Are there, though?
Okay, let's pretend there aren't.
Wow, we've got 8 strong contenders here.
Yeah, so let's run them down again. So we have Kane, Max Moon, Roddy Piper, Lanny Poffo, Andre the Giant. I'm always going to get Lanny Poffo's name wrong from now on. I'll be second guessing myself. Andre the Giant, The Miz, Cesaro, and Viscera. Should we do some honourable mentions before we do listeners stuff and nailing it down?
Yeah.
Who have you got, Sam?
Yeah, I got Pac or Neville, basically the man that gravity forgot. Quite useful when heading up to space.
Yeah.
Very much so, yeah. Go on then, Brett.
So, realising this was a pair and therefore I couldn't just choose one or the other, so I chose neither in the end. I went for like Montez Ford and Bianca Belair, I was thinking, because if the mission to Mars is to populate Mars, you've got a couple there that can create a super race because they're both fit as fuck, you know, and they could just like... But then my worry was that they would create this super colony that would then come and destroy us, you know.
Yeah, and like, you know full well that if Montez Ford wants to come back to Earth, it's just simply a case of turning him up to a turnbuckle and then just doing a frog splash and he will get the height and distance.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, and if in doubt, Bianca Belair could do like a Rapunzel thing and just throw down her hair back to Earth.
Actually, the hair would be useful, I think, in space because, you know,
oh yeah,
if you lost your tether and whatnot, like a little whip of the hair and you're safe.
I actually really like those two. It's a shame they'd take up 2 spots though.
Yeah, that was my problem. That was my problem. I didn't even think of that. They were my pick until like about 10 minutes before the pod, and I was like, shit, there's 2 of them. I can't have that.
They're gonna have to be on the second flight over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll have to agree on that. Okay, my first honourable mention is Hulk Hogan, just because his tan would be perfect camouflage on Mars.
Hey,
because he wouldn't be wearing a spacesuit, would he? He'd just be nude.
Just be nude.
Sam, any others?
I was going to say Ric Flair for pretty much the same reasons, but that man is never going to have to worry about any kind of radiation or anything like that.
Any others apart from Ric Flair?
I had Jesse the Body Ventura, who I mentioned, but he, you know, was killed by the Predator, so not much good against aliens. And Chris Statlander, because, you know, they are an alien.
Yeah. Okay, I had AJ Styles just to prove the Earth isn't flat. We could show him from a distance.
Oh yeah, we should force him on that shit.
I had Will Ospreay just because there's no sign of intelligent life on Mars, so he'd fit right in.
Hey.
And my final crowbarred in joke was I was considering having Natalia, but then she wears those cat ears, so the Mars Curiosity would kill her.
What?
Mars Curiosity, the little rover.
Right,
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
Always good when you do a joke and somebody goes, "What?"
Yeah.
I had one more to go up. The man who doesn't seem to be killable or removable in any sense, Titus O'Neil. Like, I think he's someone who seems to survive no matter what. So
Yeah.
get Titus on the ship. Don't worry about giving him a spacesuit. He'll be fine.
Like it.
Titus would like just, you know, run and trip and then just end up like disappearing into the blackness of space with his momentum.
Great. Some good honourable mentions there. We didn't get any honourable mentions from John because he's too busy living it up on his holidays. But let's have a little think about what we've got so far, ruminate a little bit, have a quick break, and then we'll come back with listener submissions.
Boom!
Tyler Breeze face first. That's a ring apron rhinoplasty.
Right, listener submissions. We've got a fair few. It is usually John's job to read these out, but as we said, he's away. So Brett is going to step up to the plate. A little bit of a promotion for you, Brett. How
Bit of
are
a
you gonna get
promotion.
on? Can you read out words? That's basically all you need to be able to do to be better than John.
Okay, we shall try. So first up,
Didn't even put him through the Laddie Poffo test first.
yeah, there is something I don't know how to pronounce in one of the names, but I'll go for it.
Brilliant.
First up, we have at WrestlePlug. They said Shane Thorne, so I don't have to watch his boring ass again. Aaron Cruz PW knows what I'm talking about. Aaron Cruz is a talented young wrestler out of Quality Wrestling. But
Did Aaron Cruz get involved?
He didn't.
Oh,
no one got
Interesting.
involved. So I was
Okay.
like, Shane Thorne, I guess he's boring to them.
yeah. But they clearly don't ever want to see him again.
We don't want to send boring people up into space, though. We want to start the first Mars Wrestling Federation. We want exciting wrestlers up there.
Yeah, could be like the Kumite or something, but on Mars. So our next submission was from at Willa_Odinson, who said Max Moon, surely, ? He should have previous experience.
Yes, Will.
We got you covered, Mr. Odison.
Yeah. Adam copied your homework, Will.
I thought of him before Will. Well, at least before I saw the
Sure.
answer.
Then we had at Lokes_Thomas said Joey Mercury just because of the space theme. Again, short and sweet.
Again, it feels like he should have been involved in your pun match, Adam.
Yeah, I didn't
But
think
it's-
about that. Mercury didn't come up in my space words list, so don't blame me. Blame the internet.
Yeah, there you go. And then finally we had at Sugden Chickarang.
Can I just say, this is perhaps my favourite listener correspondence we've ever had.
Yes.
Yeah, his name's Alex, isn't it?
Yes, Alex Sugden.
But that's his. That's
But
his,
his handle, yes. Firstly, he said, "It is your worst idea for a pod ever." And after we all had a little cry,
I mean, that's charming, isn't it?
yeah,
I
we
mean,
picked
that's
ourselves
great
up
feedback.
and we won him rounds.
Yeah.
I think the idea won him round mostly because then he was like, okay. He had to think about it. He said, take Heyman. He's proven at getting the best of people in difficult situations. Then he said, take Brock in case there are monsters. Take Ray because he clearly wants to be there anyway. And that's his answers.
Brock is a great choice.
Yeah, but Brock doesn't have much stamina, does he?
Do you need it?
Oh, does Andre the Giant have much stamina? Who knows? I don't know. What's the gravity like on Mars? Is it like extra
slower.
oppressive? Is it
No. You can jump higher.
still? So that's not just the
Probably.
moon.
Yeah, I think
probably.
so. Yeah.
I think kind of the smaller the planet, the higher you can jump. That's science.
My only knowledge is, I think, from Total Recall, where people's eyes just burst on Mars.
You see, that would make a really strong argument for Rey Mysterio because he's only got one to lose.
He does.
I did actually find myself. I struggled slightly with this one. In all the top fives we've done, there weren't loads that came to mind. I was googling things like, "What attributes do you need to be an astronaut?" and how can you survive on Mars? Hoping to find things that would people that would spring to mind. But I mean, come on, Alex. That was hilarious when we got that message in. It's your worst idea for a pod ever. But I sort of replied. I mean, he came up with some ideas, didn't he? He was like, what about best second generation wrestlers or best wrestlers who are never champion and stuff like that? And I sort of said, well, we try and do, at the moment, we've just been doing silly stuff because real wrestling is all a bit depressing
Alex,
and crap.
I'm going to level with you.
Yeah,
One of
go
our
on, Sam.
podcast members doesn't even know the genius's real name.
Exactly. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, but we were talking about it in our group, Sam, and I think you rounded it up pretty well.
Yeah, so I mean, in regards to sort of doing serious top fives and stuff, the honest truth is we don't really have that level of confidence in our knowledge. We know wrestling, but honestly, wrestling fans have the most devoted fan base, and kind of the knowledge that we would be repeating would most likely just be repeating the opinions that everyone else has already heard. And honestly, who is actually having the real long and frank serious discussion about which wrestlers we need to get onto Mars as soon as possible?
I think that's the point, yeah.
Yeah, that's really where we're at with this. I mean, in regards to this being our worst pod ever, we did review Extreme Rules 2017. So,
I mean, you guys, listeners, a big chunk of our listener base will have switched off when they realised John wasn't on the pod. But yeah, I think that's the point. There's loads of complete total experts debating all of that kind of stuff. Surely you want to listen about which one of us can eat the most Mars bars.
Yeah, exactly. It's Adam and it's 9.
Yeah, I'm going to do that after this.
Prove it. In this heat as well.
I've got to say, just quickly, because Adam, you refused to eat any croissants when you came round to my house to watch the Royal Rumble. Croissant.
I love that. Yeah, because I like to try and watch what I eat. I like to. What?
You can't be watching what you eat and then say I can eat 9 Mars bars. That's.
Yeah, but it wasn't a competition at your house.
Is that all I've got to do to make you eat stuff?
As soon as it's competitive, then yeah, I'll eat whatever, whatever it takes to win. Anyway, so that's the situation, Alex. If you don't enjoy it, if you think it's the worst pod ever, then don't listen. But please still download each episode. Anyway.
Please keep listening. We're going to get serious soon.
Oh God, it's going to get serious. I think we should seriously address everything. I think we decided we were going to try and do a podcast with 0 laughs. Some people might say that's each week, but for us, I think that would be a good challenge. Anyway. It's time to lock down one each. So we can pick one of our own picks or a listener pick to lock down into our space shuttle that's heading for Mars. Sam, are you going to go for Kane? Are you going to go for Andre the Giant? Or are you going to pick someone else?
Oh, it's got to be Kane. It's perfect for the mission.
Love that. Perfect.
There you go. Strong.
I've got to go for Max Moon or The Miz. And this is the thing. I kind of feel like we don't have a Miz character. I kind of feel like he would be perfect. The captain leading this team of misfits.
For yours, The Miz is like a rounded answer. Max Moon is a space costume.
I feel like Max Moon, though, has put all of his eggs into one basket, hoping for some sort of space-themed event to happen. And now he's got it. He kind of deserves
Sorry, Max. Sorry, Max. I'm taking The Miz. I think that's what I've got to do. I've got to think of the best crew possible, and I'm going to go for The Miz. Not particularly exciting, not funny, but come on, guys, you need that iconic.
We need to be more serious on the pod, so
exactly.
The Miz is our serious answer. Sorry, Max Moon.
Brett, who are you going to go for? Is it going to be Roddy or is it going to be Cesaro? He's Swiss. He's Swiss.
I know he's Swiss, but I'm picking Roddy every time. Bagpipes in space, as Sam put it.
I've got to be honest, like the idea of the Miz and Roddy Piper back and forth all the way to Mars, that's some entertainment right there.
You need a wild card.
In space, nobody can hear you bagpipe. Or can they? So, Johns, I guess we can debate this. Are we going to... Well, no, there's no debate. We're not having Lenny Puffo or Lonnie Pufo or Lunny Peffo. It's going to be Viscera, right?
It's got to be Viscera.
Oh, really? I wanted to go with Lenny Puffo. I think the genius is a genius idea. We need someone with a bit of brains. Kane doesn't even think people should be wearing masks at the moment.
That's very true. Okay, well, I mean, maybe I could be swung round. I don't know.
I'm still picking Viscera.
What are your plans for food up there, Sam?
Well, I'm sure Roddy Piper will have a haggis with him.
Yeah.
And Kane is an expert at setting things on fire, so whatever we find up there, they can just cook.
Okay.
They just need some intelligence, some brains leading the party, and that would be Lanny Poffo.
I'm sorry, Sam. I'm gonna side with both John and Brett. And also, I mean, it's just great that this will be his hat trick in terms of top 5 appearances.
The most represented
Hall of
top
Fame
5 wrestler.
I think the hat trick is Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think you're right. I totally agree. That's another new section for the website, perhaps, when we get that going. Okay, so we've got Kane, we've got Roddy Piper, we've got The Miz, and we've got Viscera. We now need to pick one other pick, and that can be one of our own picks that didn't make it through. So, Lenny could make it. Maybe we'll get a Swiss on the ship, or we go to the listeners. So let's quickly just round up. We're not going to do Shane Thorne. We're not going to pick Joey Mercury, I don't think.
No.
Heyman, Brock, or Ray?
No, not for me.
No, I'm not feeling it.
Not feeling it, listeners. Sorry. So we go back to Max Moon, Lenny Poffo, The Genius, Andre the Giant. Or Cesaro.
Oh, it's quite difficult.
I'd happily go for the Genius.
Yeah, I would like to add some culture in space. We'll have bagpipes, and we can have poetry.
Oh my
Do you know,
God.
I can get on board with Mr. Poffo booking his place. I think kind of he's never quite had the advantage of outshining his brother. Well, today's his day.
Yeah, and I can handle putting both John's picks in when John is not here to celebrate.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a good
true.
point, actually.
No gloating.
Yeah.
That is lovely. Who would have thought John performs at his best when he doesn't turn up?
Although I do think John repeatedly putting Viscera down is not doing any work.
The man's on holiday at the moment.
Okay, so the top 5 wrestlers who we would like to send on a mission to Mars are Kane, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Lanny Poffo, The Miz, and Viscera.
Just quickly, are these guys staying on Mars? Because I think I've noticed a problem.
Well, yeah, they're not going to stay in a little Airbnb on Jupiter.
It's more that they're not going to be able to populate Mars.
No.
Yeah, and actually, we usually always manage to get a female involved, and John is quite often good at sort of putting forward some females. The only ones that we had were Bianca Belair
Pheromones.
and Natalia, just for the sake of a shit joke. So,
Bianca Belair needed that pairing. Those
Well, I'll tell
two
you what.
spots, I think.
we didn't even consider her then at the end. We could get her instead of Lanny Poffo.
I want to put together an all women's crew just to kind of go out with them of the 4 horsewomen and Bianca Belair.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we should do that. I think,
Clean up the mess and do a proper job, because
Yeah.
clearly our crew are going to just kill each other.
I mean,
It's quite easy to pick a women's crew as well. Like, you got Chris Statlander, you got Bianca Belair, 4 horsewomen.
are we... sorry, are we just going to skirt over the fact that Brett just said clean up the mess?
But do a better job,
Right.
is what I meant. I didn't mean like tidy the house.
yeah.
I meant like the men
Brett,
will be up there doing a shit
come
job
on.
and kill each other.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's what you mean. Go and actually
Yeah. So
complete
actually
the mission.
do the mission that the men failed to do, because isn't that life?
And do you know who we've really missed out on here?
What? Who?
The Stardust Genius. He must know about space.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we've just done a really bad job about this, and I think the rocket is going to explode mid-flight.
Let's just blame the heat.
Yep.
It is extremely hot, and we are going to keep this pretty brief. But I think we've done a good job there. We've got our top 5, and then we've got 5 women to go up afterwards. So you got 10 for the price of 5. So all things considered, this has been pretty economical, and we've nailed it. Next podcast is we haven't got it fully nailed down. I know we could do an undertaking because Sam, you're away for SummerSlam. Is that right?
Oh, no. So it turns out that this crazy virus has affected my cousin's wedding,
Oh,
and that's
hooray!
been postponed. So no travelling for weddings.
Okay.
So I'm back on the card.
all right, cool. Well, we've got 1 week before SummerSlam, so we'll work out what we can do. Basically, it's whether or not Sam can be bothered to do all the research for the undertaking. But I'm sure the listeners would love that. So hopefully we'll do that. But if not, we'll be back with something else. Week after that, it is, of course, SummerSlam. We've got TakeOver as well, which is exciting. Hopefully we'll be able to give that a mention in our SummerSlam review. We shall see. Brett, do you want to tell people all the usual details?
Yeah, so if they want to get in touch, they can send their emails to hardestpartofthering@gmail.com or catch us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. We are at hardestpartpod.
Perfect. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. And hopefully John will be back with us and we'll have a full complement next week. But until then, please do rate and review and subscribe and tell your friends and tweet our episode links and retweet episodes and all that stuff that will help us grow, take the wrestling charts by storm, buy our own rocket, kidnap Kane, Roddy Piper. Oh, we can't really kidnap Roddy Piper, can we?
I mean, we could easily kidnap Roddy Piper in comparison to Kane.
Okay, we'll get enough money to make this all work, and this will happen. But until then, thank you very much. Goodbye, Sam.
See you later, mate.
Goodbye, Brett.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. This was the hottest part of the ring.
Oh, very nice.
That is the hardest part of that ring.